Good afternoon, guys. This is DW from Florida. Just wanted to show you guys how to change a PTO clutch plate for a John Deere 190. This is the 190C. This is one I've taken off already and I put a new one on. Then I realized it was the switch. Silly mistakes. Easily a silly mistake. You always, I'm not a natural at this. I'm learning as I go along, but I'm showing you the screw ups that I do. So I went and bought a John Deere, brand new John Deere clutch plate, which I've obviously installed, and I did make a video, but I felt a plonker after, or a prat after it didn't work and it was just a switch. So that's the new one's actually already on. Let me just show you. But there it is, you can see it's new. I'm going to take that one back off. At $291 for a brand new one, I think I would rather put the old one back on and make sure that's good, because I don't think it was that, it was just a switch. These are the plates that the new one comes with, just in case anyone's needing to buy a new one. Whereas I know you can buy them online, the clutch plate, PTO clutch plates, which I've only got one of these actual holders. These are to a bracket to actually hold it and stop the PTO flying around. But the John Deere comes with two styles for different models, I believe. If you've got the old one still on and it's good, which I can't see how it can rot or damage or whatever, then you may as well keep, buy the cheapest ones you can get, because the brackets will still be the same on the actual tractor. I've had my 190C since 2006. It's been, I want to use the word bastardized, taken off safety switches, taped them up together or clipped them up together because they weren't really required. I've got the 54-inch blades, 54-inch bed, and I've just replaced the belt about less than a couple of weeks ago, and then the clutch plate went, and there's the clutch plate there. I've just changed out the switch, which I found out the problem was the switch, but like I said, all new to me, so I'm learning. Right, so let's start with the first things first. Take off the battery leads. I've taken one off, that's the positive, and I replaced it with the cap just so that the cable doesn't touch anywhere along the line. So it's only a ground now. I've taken off the front. I've actually raised it in the air so I can get underneath it, and obviously so you can see what I'm doing. Now we need, first of all, to take off, which I should have done first before raising it, but I wanted to let you see it. We've got to take off the belt, and the way to take off the belt, as you may already know, is just to push this one forward like so. As you can see, it relaxed it and it tightens it up. Therefore, once you do that, you can take off the belt. So let's take that off first. I'll put my glove on just so it doesn't hurt as much, because it's a bit of a bugger. Right, push, and it drops off. So that's off there. Right, the next thing I want to do is lower the bed. Now I could have done this when it was in the down position, but I just wanted to get underneath it and show you guys. So it's not really that heavy. There is a pin to pull out. There it is. Then move that out the way. Then we lift, take this off, and lower it down. There's a slight bit of weight to that, so just be careful. Put the pin back in so you don't lose it. Now that's out your way. Now I can get to this part. I'm hoping you can see it from there. Right. Now, to undo it, you need your wrench, and this is a 16, number 16. That fits onto that nut there. Make sure you're going the right way around, which is anti-clockwise to undo. Now, you can hear that noise? Oh, it's not doing it now. But this'll keep turning. And the reason why it'll keep turning, because above is a, let me take you up here. Above is the, well, fan, air filter, whatever it is, the blade, you know, that goes around, that's the motor area. We take this off, sorry I just took it off without showing you. These are, let me just check what size those are. Their screws are a number 5/16. So 5/16 onto that, undo it, simple enough, take it off, put it to one side. Then you'll see inside you've got your nuts, but you don't have to mess with this. All you have to do is lock it into position. Now you can either get someone to hold it, which is a sensible thing if you've got someone there, or you have to wedge it. And by wedging it, I mean, sorry about the camera moving everywhere, I've got my hands. You have to wedge it with a block of wood. Oh, what I did the other day was I wedged it there. No, let's see if I can wedge it somewhere. Now, normally you take the battery out, that's what you should have done, and then wedged it in. So, actually I'm going to use my son's arm, but yeah, if you can take the battery out, wedge a piece of wood in there, that will then turn like so, as it turns, as you're turning it below, and then it'll lock against the wood. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my son's hands. Just grab hold of that for me, both hands, and as I will turn it underneath, that will move. Just keep hold of it, don't pull, don't do anything else. Right, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go underneath it. Right, you can see what I'm going to do here. Right, and I'm going to start to turn it. Now, if he's got it right, it'll start moving, and it's done. There you go. Right. Now this is a long thread, but it'll come out in no time. Once you've released it, just get ready so it doesn't drop onto you. Take some of the slack, undo it, untie, pull it out. There's the pin. Keep your pin safe, drop the unit down. You'll see it's attached to the wire. This is from the PTO switch. This is the obviously the positive and negative from the switch, which will open up and get this to close together and spin the actual belt. So I'm taking this brand new one off and I'm going to put the old one back on. So if you can just let me just put this new one, old one back on. Right. Now, as you can see, on the new ones, there we go, or on the old ones, sorry, and the new ones. I don't know if you can see inside, just inside here there's a rib, a little piece of metal that sticks out. And just up here, and let's see if you can see it, just here, there's a rib for it to slide into, or a channel to slide into. So that is the awkward bit. Just make sure you can find where it is when you take it off, and make sure you put it back in. Because if I just slide it in now, I've got to then put that into position and slide it in. Let's see if I've got it in. Right, it's going there. It's not in yet, but see, this is the awkward bit. There we go. As you can see, it's in. It's what you call home. I'm going to just tighten this up before putting any cables on. There's the cable there, so it doesn't drop off. Right, so that's on. It's temporarily not tightened up yet. There's just a little piece of something I need to put on there. There's that little bit. I did have a little piece somewhere of plastic. Here it is. This little clip, this little piece of plastic came out, so I'm going to stick it back in. It's only a little seal, stops it from bouncing from side to side. Whether it does a lot, I don't, it's not important, but I might as well just put it back on now so it's there. So I'm doing it again. Let's just lower it down, let's make sure it's in situation still. Back in. There it is. Line it back up. And here we go. There we go, straight back in. Brilliant. So just be careful when you're doing that. The first time I did that, when I took the old one off, it was a bit of a bugger to get to. And it messed around because it was new, it was tight going in. Right, now if my son can hold that piece again above, I'm going to go the spanner and I can tighten it up from this side now, and it should start to move up there. Do it as tight as you can get it. You might need to wedge it. I'm going to turn it around a bit up there, Cameron, so you can grab it from a different angle. Can you get it?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you need to be, I'm going the opposite direction, so you need to, I'm going to pull it round so you can grab it and pull it towards you once it comes past you. Right, has it gone past you yet? Yeah. Right, now pull up and hold onto it. Right, just hold it as tight as you can. Go. Brilliant, that'll do. Now I've done it hand tight, but just, well, past hand tight. And now make sure your cable feeds back round and goes back inside and clips on. Now so far, that's good. It sounds about right, it sounds good. And now I need to put the blade, this unit back on. So I'm going to go backwards. Watch your feet, please. You can finish now. I'm going to lift this up, take the pin out, up that back in, put the pin back in, and that really should be it. So now what I'm going to do is put the belt on, and we're going to do it, give it a test. So hopefully everything's okay so far. I think that's taken probably about 13 minutes, 14 minutes so far to do. It wasn't hard, it wasn't long. Put this up, push forward, pull that down. Right, and that's that. Now I'm going to drop it down. So that's taken off. Put that to the side. I can leave that open for now. It's not important. Take this off. Place it down. Now I'm just going to set the camera back up. This is probably going to be the longest bit. So we can see what it looks like. Just open up the tripod so I don't have to hold on to it. I think that's the only thing about doing these videos. Messing around with tripods, and so you can get a good view of everything. Maybe I should use my GoPro. Right, So what I'm going to do now is just going to tighten up the battery. Lift the light up. You can at least see something in there. That should help a bit. Let me just zoom in. Right. It's number 10. Get my screws. I've recently changed the battery as well because it's been going for a long time, like I said, so it needed replacing. So what I'm going to do is put it back together now, see how it goes. You guys are not working too hard. The only thing I find is that YouTube has been a great help, and so has Google. It's allowed the normal average everyday person, instead of him taking it to, you know, a garage, a factory or whatever and getting ripped off, he's actually got a chance to have a go himself before. And if you do step by step, you know, learn things step by step, it gives you more confidence. So I'm hoping you can see that. All I'm doing is I'm just putting on the actual positive now of the battery. So but as you can see, to change the PTO probably took me, you know, 15 minutes the most. It's just messing around with fidgety little things now by putting the deck back on and putting the battery back on. So half an hour I'd say to change it out. That's if it is the PTO. But first things first, if you didn't see my other video, I did one for changing out the PTO switch, which, you know, always check the PTO switch first with the test. Right, that's nice and tight. That's in. I've left the front off. Move that out of the way. I've got a heavy weight there that'll make it look like I've sat on it. Move the blocks out. Make sure you don't start this unit with something on the floor, because meaning, you know, a rag or whatever, because if you do, you could get it stuck. Let's see if we can get it out of the way. Oh, maybe I should lift it up a bit. Also remember to push the start, that's so it can be pushed in and out, so meaning you can move it without the belts going. If you've got that out, the belt's not going to go anywhere. So push it back in, and let's see now if that blade, if that goes around. So if you can, just watch the belts. Lower it down a bit so you can see it. And let's see if it starts. Right, the weight's on there. Clutch in. New battery, so this should start straight away. He says with the famous words. Oh yeah. Told you I bastardised it. Should now start. Sorry about the dust and the crap, but I'm happy with that. Went and bought that. $291. Not happy. Replaced the new one, old one, and now I'm happy. So thanks very much, guys. Check out any other of my videos. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing everything. I'm just doing everything I can do, from repairs to gardening to whatever. So check me out and say hello. Take care, guys. Thank you very much. This is DW signing out. Happy and proud.